I'm going to give you an update from AdeptiCon and the KeyForge Vault Tour main event in Schaumburg, Illinois, and we are starting right now. Hello, Archons of Indy. I'm Michael, and welcome to the Indy Minute, where we give you info as fast as a speed sigil. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to get updates on KeyForge in Indianapolis, the Midwest, and around the world, start now by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the bell, so you don't miss anything. 122 players attended the main event, playing Archon Survival. After 6 Swiss rounds of play, 43 players survived to get to day 2. 2 at 6-0, 11 at 5-1, and 30 at 4-2. I ended up 3-3 for day 1, missing day 2 in the main event. Shout out to Ryan, who won round 6 against me. If you played in a Vault Tour, let me know in the comments below how you did. I'd like to know. For day 2, there were 6 rounds of single elimination play to get to the winner of the Schaumburg Vault Tour. The day started with an elimination round to get to the top 32 with about 20 players receiving byes in the round. Players continued to get eliminated all the way through top 16 and top 8, giving us our top 4 matches. I had provided information in the description below on the top 4 decks and all other decks that made top 16. On the stream for top 4, we had a pseudo mirror match, both Collen and Danny playing Brobnar, Shadows, Untamed. Collen had bait and switch and Shadows, but Danny had a double Dust Pixie and double Nature's Call and Untamed. The game started as back and forth games, and Danny was able to get the first key. Collen forged right after, but Danny had an Amber Rush with Untamed the following turn to get key number 2. Collen was chasing, but was unable to come back, with Danny getting the win going to the finals. In the other top 4 game, George played Kori. As I was commenting on the live stream on Collen and Danny, I didn't see how the game went. However, George got the win, setting the finals between George and Danny. Going into the finals, format moved to adaptive. Play your deck, play your opponent's deck. If the same deck wins, in game 3, you bid chains on the winning deck to see who plays that deck to go in the finals. Danny ran an all-around deck that had Brobnar for BC creatures, an Amber Rush with Untamed, and Control Amber with Shadows. George ran the Library Access Nepenthe Seed deck that had Control and Dis with Restring Guntus and Control the Weak. In game 1, Danny controls most of the game, getting up 2 keys to 0, but George comes back in turns 7, 8, and 9 with Dis, Untamed, and Logos. With Dis going 3 Fates, Control the Weak, then Forging going into Untamed with Hunting Witch, Dust Pixie, and then his Logos Library Access combo, which draws his whole deck and locks game out with Rustring Guntus, Skippy Time Hog, and Control the Weak. Game 2, George and Danny swapped decks. Danny picked first player for game 2 due to his loss in game 1. The game started in similar fashion. George rushes to the first key in turn 2. However, Danny gets the Library Access combo off on turn 5 and takes it on to win game 2. In game 3, the final game, with George's deck having won both, the bidding starts with George at 0 chains. After a short pause to think, Danny decides to pass and not bid chains after giving the deck over to George, so they play with their original decks. Game 3 was over almost before it began. After a mulligan, Danny was first player and played Silvertooth and Reaped. George played Dis with a Schuler and Control the Weak, choosing Shadows. Turn 2, Danny was forced into Shadows, Reaped with Silvertooth, and then back to George as he went Untamed, playing the Nepenthe Seed and a Big Twig. Turn 3, Danny chooses Brobnar, plays Punch, Fire Spitter, and Unguarded Camp for the Amber bonus. Then George goes Logos, plays the Library Access, pops the Nepenthe Seed, then Library Access again. George moves through his deck, again using Restring Guntus, Skippy Time Hog, and Control the Weak to lock out Danny for the rest of the game. George becomes the winner of the KeyForge Archon Survival main event at AdeptiCon in Schaumburg, Illinois. Be sure to like this channel and subscribe to follow along on KeyForge news in Indianapolis, the Midwest, and around the world. Thank you from the Archons of Indy, and that's your Indy Minute.